Hi, Daniel Lindenberger from Project Hyphae here is sharing resources. That'll be all kinds of resources, databases, lists of different websites or organizations that might be handy. And another piece is that we'll be sharing Miro boards and videos that detail and document how we do everything that we do so that anyone else who wants to do this kind of thing can. So this is a video where we're going to go through platforms that we use and talk a little bit about how we use them. So this is a work, of course, in progress because the platforms that we use are going to change. Today's day one, but these are the different platforms that we know right from the get-go we're going to be using. So Famato.org is our website. It is a WordPress website, and we're using it primarily right now for intake, outreach, and a bit of communication about the project. We have a Facebook group that we use, again, for conversation, intake, and outreach. It's an initial point where people can land, and then they can, as we figure out how they want to work with us, we'll figure out which platform they need access to. Slack is where a lot of the real conversation happens, as well as team formation and ideation. Slack is really the conversational heart of what happens during the project when we're not in face-to-face meetings or something like that. Zoom we use both for teleconferencing, having all of our different meetings that are online. We also use it for recordings like this one. So right now I'm recording in Zoom to make this. We use Google Docs for doing our organizing, our documentation. We have Google Forms that we're using to help with intake and different information gathering from people. And also we can have it for project sites for the different sub-projects within Project Hyphae that come to fruition. We use Notion as a project and team management system. We also use it for outreach. So there is a public version of the Project Hyphae Notion board that you'll be able to access to get all of the different resources and see who's involved in what organizations and how we're doing what we're doing. Miro is what I'm using right now for doing these diagrams. We use it for design, for collaboration. We use it for documentation and as a resource. YouTube, where you're watching this, is used again as documentation and as outreach, and of course as a component in the resources we make. We're using Happy Scribe to convert the captioning that's done by Zoom and to turn that into plain text that can be used elsewhere. We're using Badger, which is an open badge system, so that anyone who's wanting to can participate or even just watch and learn and can receive micro-credentials and kudos for the different things that they're doing as a part of the community. Those are badges that are authenticated by our nonprofit organization and which other people can see. You can share those badges out to demonstrate your participation in the project if that's something you're interested in. We are using ChatGPT, where it's in a research stage right now. We're using it around ideation, strategy, and also content development. And later we'll talk in more detail about exactly how we're using it and give you some examples. We're also using Night Cafe, which is an artificial intelligence that uses an algorithmic way to turn text into art, and we're using it for rapid prototype art. It allows us to have something or other in place for each of the different things where we need an artistic element. Now, part of what we're also going to be displaying is the workflows to show these are the components, and each of those is going to have its own video, giving a little bit of detail around it. But we're also going to go through how we do each of the specific pieces that we put together. So the thing you're looking at right now is a project video, and I'll quickly go through that as an example of how we do project videos in the next video that I make.